Forget the plastic toys decked out with neon grips and titanium screws. I've had it up to here with these TikTok gun gurus pushing overpriced garbage that folds like a cheap suit when the chips are down. We are not talking about Sunday range plinking. We are talking about the tools that stand between you and the inevitable collapse of order. Whether you are a working flatfoot pulling a 12-hour shift or a veteran counting on your hardware when the light switch fails, the equation is the same. It must go bang, period. With inflation eating away at our savings and supply chains still looking shakier than a newborn calf, buying quality hardware now isn't investing in a hobby. It's buying insurance. Today, we are blending the absolute rock-solid reliability trusted by the brass with the ergonomic engineering needed for shooters who have earned their stripes and maybe lost a little grip strength along the way. This isn't a popularity contest. This is about cold, hammer-forged steel and aluminum that refuses to quit. We are looking at the 7 assets that will reliably defend your home and your legacy when lesser guns have jammed up. Beretta 92FS, this is where we kick off, and we start with royalty. The Beretta 92FS, known by the uniformed boys as the M9, is the last true giant of the all-metal frame service pistol era. When this thing replaced the mighty 1911 back in the 1980s, it set a standard for sheer mechanical over-engineering. I've put more rounds through these than I care to count, and the first thing that hits you is that weight. In this age of polymer fluff, the 92FS feels like a proper tool, heavy and grounded. That alloy frame does something magical. It completely devours the recoil impulse of the 9mm cartridge. You can hammer away at extended sessions and your wrist won't scream at you like it does with those featherweight plastic guns. The open slide design? That isn't just for looks, boys. That means the gun can practically clear its own malfunctions. A stovepipe failure is about as likely as seeing a politician tell the truth. For the older shooter, racking that slide is easier than wrestling with some of the newer, stiffer striker-fired models. Now, the downside, damn right, it's big. If you are trying to tuck this thing into your waistband, you better be wearing an apron. But for home defense or open carry, that size is an asset. You want to talk about value? Brand new, you're looking at $800 or more, which is highway robbery today. But if you hunt down a police trade-in, a well-worn workhorse pulled from service after a decade of faithful duty, you are looking at $450 to $550. That is professional-grade steel for the price of a used lawnmower. It's a testament to durability. Taurus 856 Defender. Now, we pivot hard from the semi-automatic line to address the needs of shooters whose hands don't grip like they used to. This is the Taurus 856 Defender, and I want you to purge every bad thought you have about Taurus from the 1990s out of your brain right now. They have rebuilt their quality control from the ground up, and the Defender line is the proof that they mean business. Why this for an older shooter? Because it solves the 2 biggest problems with small concealable revolvers: barrel alignment and sight acquisition. Most small frame revolvers run a 2-inch barrel, which is too short to manage muzzle rise, making follow-up shots painfully slow. The Defender, however, has a 3-inch barrel. That extra inch isn't just for show. It puts crucial weight right out front, acting like a counterbalance to keep the muzzle down. This means you can get back on target faster than you can say, government overreach. Furthermore, that 3-inch tube lets the .38 special cartridge burn its powder more completely, translating to higher velocity and ensuring your defensive hollow points actually open up when they need to. The real game changer is the sights. Forget those pathetic black-on-black notches. The Defender comes factory equipped with a high-visibility night sight featuring a bright orange ring around a tritium vial. For those of us whose eyesight isn't what it was in '85, that bright orange dot is easy to track under stress or in low light. It holds 6 rounds, giving you 20% more fighting capacity than a standard J-frame 5-shot, and it uses comfortable rubber grips that fill the hand nicely. In this current economic climate, where everything costs too much, the Defender is arguably the best value proposition on the entire market today, offering modern fixes for aging hands at a price point that doesn't require taking out a second mortgage. It's a solid six-shooter that respects your wallet and your arthritic knuckles. Having established this excellent low-recoil, high-capacity rimfire solution, let's step back into the full-power world where maximum power density is required, even if it means managing a little more thump. Smith & Wesson Model 352 or B1PD. We are now entering the territory where physical limitations, arthritis, weak wrists, nerve damage, become the primary design constraint. If standard center fire recoil feels like someone is hitting your hand with a framing hammer, then the Smith & Wesson Model 351 PD is not just an option, it's your lifeline. This revolver is chambered specifically in 22 WMR or 22 Magnum. Now I know what the tough guys are screaming. Rimfire isn't reliable for defense. Here is the hard truth, boys. This cylinder holds 7 rounds. If one round fails to ignite, and frankly it is incredibly rare with premium ammo like Hornady Critical Defense, you don't clear a complex jam, you don't have to rack a slide. You simply press the trigger again, instantly introducing a fresh round into the chamber. The frame is built using Smith & Wesson's scandium airlight alloy, resulting in a gun that weighs a ludicrous 10.8 ounces. It features a high-visibility orange fiber optic front sight that shines bright even in weak daylight. Because it fires the 22 Magnum, there is virtually zero felt recoil. A shooter with minimal wrist strength can dump all 7 rounds into the T-zone of a target in under 3 seconds with surgical precision. Yes, it is loud, and it creates a significant muzzle flash, which itself is a deterrent. But what this weapon buys you is the ability to carry a defensive tool when age or injury would otherwise force you to go unarmed. It's about capability retention. If the market tightens and we see restrictions on centerfire defensive ammunition, having a highly reliable 7-shot, minimal recoil platform like the 351 PD becomes an absolute necessity for the discerning defender who can no longer manage a 45 ACP. It's the perfect trade-off for maintaining personal security when your body starts saying no. Transitioning from this ultra-lightweight solution, let's look at the opposite end of the spectrum. Brute force, maximum mass, and unwavering dependability for the bedside table. Ruger SP101, we find the absolute tank of the compact revolver world, the Ruger SP101. While the previous option focused on shedding every possible ounce, the Ruger prioritizes mass and sheer durability. This thing weighs in around 26 ounces. For a shooter with sensitive hands, that weight is not a burden. It is a gift sent from the gun gods. The SP101 is built around a solid stainless steel frame that has no side plates whatsoever. This solid frame design makes it incredibly rigid and durable. When you fire standard pressure .38 special ammunition through this heavy steel chassis, physics works in your favor. The mass of the weapon absorbs the recoil impulse, transferring very little harsh impact to your skeletal structure. It feels less like a sharp snap and more like a gentle push, which is exactly what we need when we are past the age of easily healing bone bruises. Another brilliant feature for older shooters is maintenance. The weapon breaks down into simple subassemblies. There are no complex tools or microscopic pins that are easy to drop and lose in the carpet fibers. The grip frame utilizes a unique stud design, which allows you to install a wide variety of aftermarket grips to match the specific size of your hand. If you have large hands that are battling arthritis, you can install a thick padded Hogue Tammer grip. If you have smaller hands, you can install a slim, compact grip. The customization potential is limitless. While I recommend carrying standard .38 special for defense, this weapon is chambered for the 357 Magnum, meaning it is vastly over-engineered and will never ever wear out. It is the ultimate nightstand guardian. It is heavy, it demands respect, but it will never fail to deliver when the adrenaline hits, proving that sometimes the best technology is just sheer, unadulterated steel. Now, moving on from this steadfast companion, we look at a line that perfectly balances the legendary stopping power of Magnum cartridges with a slight concession to modern handling and sighting systems. Sig Sauer P320. Taking the silver medal in the pistol category, we have the Sig Sauer P320. This is the gun that changed everything when it won the United States military contract to become the M17 and M18 service pistol. The P320 isn't just a handgun, it is a true modular system. The actual firearm is a small, serialized stainless steel chassis, which they call the fire control unit. You can pop that serialized unit out of the grip module and swap it into different frames, different slide lengths, or even different calibers in about 30 seconds flat. That modularity is precisely why departments like the Texas Department of Public Safety and the Oklahoma Highway Patrol jumped on board. It allows an officer with small hands and an officer with large hands to use the exact same internal system with a frame that actually fits them ergonomically, mitigating the risks associated with poor fit. The trigger action is short and crisp, and the weapon has a very high bore axis, which many shooters, especially those with limited wrist dexterity, appreciate because it points so naturally. SIG addressed some early growing pains regarding drop safety years ago, and now this is one of the most battle-tested platforms on the planet. For the pragmatic buyer, the P320 means you can buy one fire control unit, and then later, if ammo prices surge or you need a different configuration, you only buy the frame and slide assembly. Shadow Systems MR920. At our final slot, we feature something a bit different. A perfect solution for the shooter who wants custom performance without the custom price tag or the headaches that come with piecing together aftermarket parts. This is the Shadow Systems MR920. For years, every enthusiast bought a Glock and then promptly spent another $1,000 on stippling, slide milling, and a proprietary trigger system to make it shootable. Shadow Systems, operating out of Plano, Texas, decided to build that perfected gun right out of the factory gate. The MR920 is built on the Glock 19 footprint, so it uses the same mountains of available magazines and accessories, but it is a completely different animal. The grip angle is adjustable, allowing you to tailor the weapon to point naturally, and the texture is aggressive precisely where it needs to be, giving you that rock-solid purchase we discussed earlier, even if your hands are slick with sweat or rain. The biggest innovation here is their optic mounting system. It's a patented design that lets you mount almost any common red dot directly to the slide without those flimsy adapter plates that always seem to work themselves loose under hard use. That means your dot sits lower for better sight alignment and stays more secure during extended defensive drills. Police departments are starting to seriously trust Shadow Systems because they deliver custom-level performance with the inherent reliability of a factory-built duty gun. So there you have it, boys. 7 pieces of hardware that the most demanding users, those who carry them every day or those who need them to save their hide in their golden years, bet their lives on. We mixed the speed and capacity of the modern semi-autos with the sheer mechanical simplicity of the finest revolvers built for enduring comfort. Remember this philosophy. When you are choosing a tool for home defense or concealed carry, you shouldn't be shopping for a hobby. You should be acquiring an asset that works every single time, regardless of dust, dirt, or shaky hands. This is about tools, not toys. What burns you up about this list, boys? Are you sticking with the time-tested 1911 platform even though we skipped it? Do you trust the 7-shot wheel gun over the 9-shot semi-auto for deep concealment? Spill it in the comments below, and let's keep this fight for common sense going. If this straight shooting analysis helped you make sense of the market noise, smash that like button and subscribe immediately. We need every responsible gun owner backing this channel. Stay safe, keep training hard, and I will catch you in the next upload.